Welcome to the Nifty Nuggets weekly news and reviews podcast show. In this week's episode, we're going to talk about how are we in a bear market and how is that affecting the crypto and NFT space. We're also going to talk about there's a new virus in the town and how is that going to affect all of us. Also, Seaport is going to be live on the Opensea, which is a new protocol. Ethereum 2.0 is coming, and at last but not least, Portuguese Congress rejects 2 bills seeking to tax crypto. But before we jump into the fryer, make sure you hit the bell notification, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and leave a comment below. Be sure to leave the password, which will be revealed during the show, for your chance to win an invite into the Nifty Nuggets server. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to make sure you leave a 5-star review. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at NuggetsNifty. Now, let's get on with the show.
Nuggets.
All right, welcome. Hello, Jay, how are you?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Today, we have a new host, which is Jay. Everybody knows about Jay in the server. Jay is a superstar, and welcome to the show today.
Don't sell me that high.
Okay. This week we have a lot of news to talk about, but first let's have a look at the market, because the market is not looking good, is it?
At the moment, we're like in a neutral point, actually. We don't know where we go, but we're not going down.
Exactly.
It's better than the last, let's say, 4 months, which is saying a little.
Yep, exactly. Well, it seems like we are having a strong support around $30,000 for the Bitcoin and Ethereum. I was going to say 2,000, but right now we are a lot below that, which is 1,800 at the moment. So last 7 days, that was 12.7% down, which is, very painful to watch, especially for the people who are in the NFT space. Sometimes when you make a big win in the Ethereum for the NFTs, but the Ethereum price is dropping, so nobody's better off.
I mean, so far as we know, Ethereum should be the first to take a drop if we are to kick in a new market.
Yep, that's
since
definitely...
Bitcoin dominance has to go up. So it might be good, might be bad.
Exactly.
It's still to be seen, to be honest.
Well, look at the dominance of the Bitcoin, which is at 44%. I haven't seen that high for such a long time now. What do you think of that, Jay?
I think it's been growing for a while now, and it's good. And I think we're going to have a relief rally on like alts for a bit soon, just because it has to. They've all gone down like 70%.
Yep, 70%.
Everyone's on max pain at the moment. Everyone's on max pain.
So painful.
When you start seeing everyone scream for lower, normally it's when it turns.
Yep.
And it's kind of what we're seeing now.
So
no one believes in anything.
Yep, exactly. So I'm not saying that you should, I'm not neither Jay or me is your financial advisor, but I think this is definitely not the time to sell it, because just because if you sell it, you make a loss, right? If you don't sell it, you're not making a loss.
I mean, gotta cut your losses sometimes, but it's kind of late at this point. We're really, really far down.
Yeah, that's right. So
hold it to dust. If you want, hold it to dust now.
We're too deep in the rabbit hole. Having a look at the fear and greed index, which we can probably guess is in extreme fear. We've been here for quite a long time now. Looking at the chart now, it's at 12 out of the 1 to 100. So people are so scared. And also that correlates to what you have just said, because the paper hands or the people who are too scared and they want to sell have already sold their Bitcoins or Ethereum. So I think probably, it just when it's nobody left to sell, maybe it will be a, I wouldn't say the word bottom, but I think, I just hope that it doesn't go lower than this. And
we need to see people interested in buying.
Definitely. And
they're more interested in buying 60K than 30. 60K.
Definitely. It's just because when it got to 60K, it got news everywhere. You can see them on the daily news.
Yeah.
You can see it on the newspapers everywhere. Even my parents was asking me, "Oh, what's this Bitcoin? You know, it's so expensive right now." That means, by the way, do you want to introduce how long have you been into the crypto space?
I've been on and off for a couple of years, but I'd say seriously for like a year now.
But you told me...
I'd say like 6 to 7 months in NFTs, but I dibbled my toes first in like 2016 and then again in like 2020, but nothing to scoff at.
Right. But 2016, that's pretty early. That's what's the price when you got into the Bitcoin?
I still have a receipt. It was like $300 back then. I bought on Coinbase, actually, like the really early days of Coinbase.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't even know about Coinbase back then.
Yeah, Coinbase, probably that was when Coinbase started, not going to lie. It was really new.
Really?
Coinbase started June 2012. So actually, no. The company started in 2012.
Right. Okay. And that is the whole market sentiment is so low, and that's affecting the NFT market as well. So right now on my screen, you can see the daily chart volume of the Ethereum on Opensea. We can see so low. The last 24 hours is only $31 million. I haven't seen this low for quite a while. The sentiment is so low. People are having no
if we look at it, on the other side of the spectrum, Bitcoin is also on like the lowest volume levels since it first rose on like the beginning of 21. Everything is low volume on every market across everything. It's more of an economical shakeout than just crypto overall. I mean, anyone that goes beyond crypto sees that every market's being affected at the moment, and Bitcoin kind of correlates with SP500 and DXIs and the normal SP, and everything is just doing the same right now. Taking the fall from all the printed money.
That is definitely right. And then if you're wondering what we're talking about, you can go back to the last episode. We talk about why we are in the bear market. Okay, so even though we see Ethereum trading volume is getting low on OpenSea, but we can definitely see some new projects is hopping up. Notably, a few Solana projects, which is the first one I can see is the Tripping Ape Tribe. Did you meet one of these?
No.
Right.
I have a friend of mine that minted a bunch of them.
A bunch of them. Wow. They're in
he's the Solana gods.
Wow, that's a lot of profit, because for this one the mint price is only, I think, 3.75 Solana. The price
it was a good gain.
It is. Right now you're sitting around
up to
15.
More.
Yeah, it went up to 90 Solanas at one point. On the night that was minting, and we can see a lot more Solana projects.
We got a good Solana project today. We got a good Solana project today, actually. Kings of the Street. Right. Oh, yeah. We got a bunch of whitelists on Nuggets for it.
Oh, yeah, we did. So Nifty Nuggets is about everything good out there in the market, and also the very nice whitelist. So there's one script that the Nug Writer had done that says if you get into the Nifty Nuggets server, maybe you don't have to grind anymore, because we just have so much whitelist to give out every day.
There have been people that don't grind anymore. I mean, they grind in different ways.
Yep, that's for sure. But the caveat of this is we can see a lot of, just the projects hyping out of nowhere. So right now on my screen, I can see two of the last 24 hours. There are two newcomers, which the first one is AI Nightbirds, which to me, it looks like a derivative of the Moonbird. And the other one is the Goblins, which came out of nowhere. It's, the art...
Absolute pain.
Look, the different people has different views on the art, right? But to me, I don't know. It doesn't seem appealing to me, at least. It's not very great. It's
popular opinion. art really doesn't matter a lot of times.
Exactly. But let's have a look at the activity here. We can see a few days ago, it was only, my internet is loading for a second. Just a few days ago, the price was only 0.1 ETH or below that. Right now, yesterday...
It was a free mint.
It was a free mint, exactly. And
that was a free mint, so yeah, makes sense. So, I know Godzilla swept 60 at around 0.04. So they picked up volume straight off the gate.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Yesterday, the price went to 2 ethers each, which is at today's market, that's $4,000 for one of these ugly looking or beautiful looking, depends on your opinion, but JPEGs. So the trading volume is pretty good. Actually, it's still being sold just when we are recording. Last sale was 8 minutes. The sale before that was 11 minutes and 12 minutes. So it's pretty big. But what I want to say today is there are just so many derivatives and so many meme NFTs out there. And just don't look at one of the NFTs just rising so much and you're feeling like, okay, I'm missing out. So don't have that kind of the feeling because there's just so many and you don't know which one is going to rise like crazy like this. And also there's another thing I want to talk about is because we're in the bear market, which means there's no new money come into the NFT space or crypto space in general. So what that means is all this trading volume that got picked up is the people, is the players already in the NFT space and they are pulling this. So I don't know if this is the top or the bottom of these two NFTs, but what I'm trying to say is just don't have the fear of missing out. If you're missing something, just let it go. So don't just chase the hype.
There's opportunities every week.
Every week, every day. So just don't try to hop on the train like that. Of course, this is not a financial advice. Maybe just after recording, the price... the floor price can rise. The reality.
Well, I mean, we looked at it this morning and it was 1.3 when we looked at it.
Yep. Maybe tomorrow it will 10 ETH. Who knows? But I'm not.
I mean, it had 5 ETH sales. Scary.
Yep. And I'm not hopping on the train of this one. So you do your own research. Okay.
Bottom line, it's degen. Okay? It has no roadmap, no Discord. It has nothing besides memes.
I've heard
hey, memes only get you that far.
I've heard about they hosted a Twitter space, and for 3 hours, people just making the goblin sound like my precious, things like this.
Yeah.
For 3 hours. I wasn't there, but it would be funny to watch it.
I saw some clips.
All right, move on to the Monkeypox. So there is a new virus in town which is called Monkeypox, and this is a WHO's paper. It says that we are the symptoms lasting from 2 to 4 weeks. Severe cases can occur. In recent times, the case fatality ratio is being around 3 to 6 point. I think that is very big. In this world, in the technology that we already have. And what's even worse is on today's news, it says around 20 countries have monkeypox and more than 200 confirmed or suspected infections, mostly in Europe. And here we have another news from this Sydney Morning Herald says US confirms new monkeypox cases in 7 states. So apparent local spread. This reminds me of the last virus we have experienced or we are still experiencing, which is the COVID, which, want me to grab the chart from the last year. This is the March 2020, and the Bitcoin price dropped from 10,000 straight down to around 4,000. Actually, it was the lowest bottom was, I think, 3,800. So that was a massive hit for the global economy.
You have your dollars ready? Do you have your dollars ready for that 10K Bitcoin?
That is a very wise word. So We don't know what's going to happen, but you better have some dry powder sitting on the sideline. So if things like this happen, that might be the best time to buy.
And look, you don't have to catch the bottom.
Oh no, definitely.
And catch the rise.
Yep. Just don't try to time the bottom or time the top. So just ride along the waves, and if you entered around this point, everything is going to be good.
Golden.
Yeah, exactly. Even compared to today's price, we are at 28,000. Any time around this area would be fine. You're still better off. Moving on to next news is the Facebook owner Meta files trademarks applications for Meta Pay. It just seems like they're trying to front run everyone with the names, isn't it?
Yeah.
they changed the name.
They're taking the metaverse.
Oh, yeah.
They're taking the metaverse away from us.
But this one is particularly funny because apparently MetaPay, it implies that they are going to do something with the payment, right? But they've been...
I wouldn't be surprised if they try to make a competition to like Visa and MasterCard. Would be a good play on their side.
But I don't think they are as popular in the Web3 space as they were in the Web2 space, right?
They know how to move.
And they've had a few coins by now, right? They had Libra, which was rejected, and then they had a second one was called DM, and I don't know.
They're definitely trying, which is a lot more than a lot of other companies are doing. I mean, we have companies releasing some NFT collections, but ultimately they're not doing much. And even though I don't like Facebook, they do have a heavy weight.
Oh yes.
And if they can if they can start bringing people to Web3, they are a really big player that I'd like to have on our side.
Oh, it's.
I mean, they're advancing on VR. They're the most they are the company investing most in VR right now. And I mean, if you want metaverses and stuff, we're gonna need VR. So we gotta put our grudges aside and let the alien play with us.
And also they also have a huge amount of the audience, and they have a huge amount of money sitting, ready to be invested into this one. We also remember last year when they just changed the name from Facebook to Meta, the price of Sand, which is Sandbox.
Everything.
Yep. And
they're the only company that in present day can pump ads to everyone. Not even Google can do that. But like they have WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. Yep. Everyone uses one of the three. I think they have Snapchat too. So everything.
Yep, they're full 360 degrees covered.
Yep. If they're starting to really go at it, I 100% think they make it. Based on people just going off their ads and stuff. I mean, people nowadays still build businesses based on Facebook ads.
Yep, definitely do. And doesn't matter if you like it or not. I think if we have to choose someone who is going to make it, I think they are definitely in the list.
We got Muskie and Zuckerberg. Who else do we need?
Another thing that is caught my eye, that is Coinbase becomes the first Bitcoin company among Fortune 500. So they are becoming...
That's surprising.
That's surprising, right? I mean, they just lost a lot of money in the first quarter.
Yeah, exactly. That's surprising because of that, and because of they went public last year, and they were absolutely fudded a lot, like we like to say. Their stocks went down a lot from the beginning, but I'm glad to see that. It's really good.
Well, don't you think Binance is richer than them?
Binance has a lot of legality issues. And they're not public, so I don't think they can confirm as a top 500 without being public.
Yeah.
I think the next one up is probably FTX.
Yeah, FTX is definitely big as well. I think Binance has...
FTX is bridging the bigger companies. I think FTX work is really important. While Binance and Coinbase are very, very friendly, user oriented, and everyone. FTX is really building for like companies to get in the space, and that's really good.
Honestly, FTX is not user friendly at all. I mean, for the new people who got in.
No, they don't care, to be honest. They're just
they're for the professionals.
Even the owner said he doesn't really care. His aim is to like help all the companies that want to get into like crypto and stuff, because as far as it goes on like modern days on the US, it takes like 3 to 4 months to get approvals, and he's trying to streamline that enough to be like 1 or 2 weeks, and that would be massive change. That would be.
And coming up next is introducing the Seaport Protocol, which is for the Opensea, which is a centralized platform for a, quote, decentralized NFT space, which is funny, right? I mean, they just delisted Gojira. Do you know the reason they delisted?
I mean, as a company, they gotta shoot first, ask questions later. As far as I know, it was some low-key DMCA. It wasn't really like a big thing. And Gojira will make it out. It's okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
A stepping stone.
I believe so. I believe that's something that they're gonna encounter anyway. And what I've heard is you can actually report any IP issues with the NFT collections. Just anyone can do it. And then once you do it, there's, I think, 14 days of period before they can make a judgment or something like that. So right now they're still waiting. But NFTs is not about IPs. It's not about PFPs. It's more about community. I mean, me and CryptoVS talked about what is the Nifty Nuggets, the server, project.
You can say that, but at some point, I don't know if you knew about this, but Gojira, for example, which I think it was FTX that wanted to use 2 NFTs of them for like their front page, and they have to pay to do that. They have to pay for IP rights for the NFTs, and actually Gojira paid those IP rights to the owners of the NFTs and not to the project. Right. Yeah, there's a lot of IP interest at the moment, and it's going around with Bored Ape Club too.
Right.
A lot of problems are rising inside the Bored Ape community because of a lot of monkeys look the same. Like, not a lot, but there's a 1%. And those could definitely have IP issues if you just remove the background. For example, they're the same.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I think IP is definitely... might be not the focus now, but once we start getting to like the business side of things, IPs money matter.
Yeah, it's always about the money. If we don't earn about money, nobody cares about it. But once we start talking about money, big money especially, but that's not about the main thing that we were going to talk about with the news. The Seaport is going to be a decentralized smart contract, which means that you can list probably anything that you want to, and then list in any currency, cryptocurrencies. So I'm not too sure how that is going to play out. It also somewhere it says that the company, the Opensea, does not own the smart contract, which I can't see on my screen right now. It's just too many readings. But I think that's what is this Opensea Seaport Protocol is about. And, NFTs are not only on Ethereum, NFTs such as Nifty Nuggets are on Immutable X, which is a layer 2 solution for the NFTs, basically. The reason is Ethereum is so broken. The gas is so expensive. The speed is not as fast, and just the congestion and everything. So we have been waiting for the Ethereum 2.0, which is the proof of stake, for a while. And we've been hoping that this movement will solve the problem. But it has been delayed. And to most recent news, it says the testnet is going to happen in June. So, which I am personally very looking forward to it. How about you?
I hope so. I mean, we've been making jokes about Ethereum 2.0 for a while now. So I definitely hope we get a move. This could definitely kickstart something as well. As you're saying, the gas fees are very unappealing for something that is not from the space. You come in and you're like, I want to transfer money to my friend, $5. I wanna mint something. It costs $50.
Exactly.
I mean, at the moment we're like on no volume market with fucking 10 gas, and it's really, really, really the values don't relate to what normally it is. Like we're paying $15, $20 for transfers, while 100% you pay like 80 to 100 when you're like a normal market. And that's what we got to consider, not the values that we're having right now. So I definitely want it to happen very soon.
Yep. And also, that's one of the reasons that Solana NFTs are picking up the volume, I think, because there's one project I was talking to that getting some juicy whitelist for Nifty Nuggets. I have more than 50, which I will drop the bomb later on in the Discord. But the mint price for that one, I think, is 0.3 or 0.5 Solanas, which I can't remember. But if you convert it to US dollars, that is actually cheaper than the gas fee that we're going to pay if you want to mint a NFT on the Ethereum chain.
Even the project that we're minting today, the Kings of the Street, if this was a Solana or if this was an Ethereum project, you would 100% not be paying what they are asking, which is $80. Yeah, they're a Twitter with 100K plus following. So I'd say on ETH values you'd be asking for like 0.15, so you'd be paying 300 to 400 versus $80. So I think the market's the barrier to enter is much lower, which also causes a lot of flops and degen stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But the good stuff does very, very, very big gains.
Well, it's going to be bumpy road, right? It's not going to be like smooth as everything. Just for the NFT space, it's going to be rug pulls. Definitely going to be cash grabs for the Solana NFTs.
Always.
Yep. But
I mean, it's the price of no regulation.
Oh yeah.
We want it. We need to not complain about it.
You ask for it.
It exists. It exists, but it sucks. But
exactly.
It's like how you used to say with people that get their stuff stolen. It's like you did something you shouldn't. It sucks. But that's why we preach ledgers and stuff, because everyone does mistakes, and there's no bank. There's no one you can blame. There's no one you can ask for it to come back. It's so people need to stay safe.
You become your own bank, and you have to be responsible for it. So
yep.
Also, another thing I want to point out is that I think Ethereum is by far the most decentralized and probably secure network out there rather than Bitcoin. And Solana is, on the other hand, is not as decentralized, and the network has been shut down for a few times in the last 2 years. So in the long run, I'm not too sure about Solana NFTs just because, the Luna, what happened to Luna. Actually, I have a few quite a few NFTs on Luna, but because the Luna chain is broken right now, my NFTs are basically just JPEGs sitting in my wallet right now. So just that's something to think about. Do you think they can
pass those NFTs to the new Luna thing, Luna C?
I am not too sure because I think the airdrop is supposed to happen now as we speak, as the time of recording, but I'm not too sure about that. I also read about the Random Earth, which is the marketplace for Luna NFTs, are going to accept the Luna. I mean, the new Luna, not the Luncy. So I wonder how that is going to play out. Maybe I get a replaced NFT. I don't know. I hope so.
We'll see, I guess.
Okay, and here we have a very interesting news to show everyone. So apparently someone has proposed that let's charge a tax with the crypto in Portuguese, and the Congress said, nope, we're not going to do it. Are you familiar with this news, Jay?
I mean, being my country, I guess I am. So yeah, we're the last financial haven together with Malta on Europe, and Portugal is split in two regions, and one of the regions is pushing very hard for crypto, but like the main continent, which is what's being spoken about here, the financial system is pushing to tax it. And knowing my country, when they tax it, it's normally a high rate. It will be a high fixed rate. It won't be fun. So it's actually really good news to see this, knowing that the Congress that is there right now is really loved by the population, and it's not going out unless they want to, because we don't have like a mandatory set like the US have. Mm-hmm. Like our president can stay for a while. So yeah, it's just good news as long as they keep going like this. 100% people, if the financial guys want, they will keep attacking it, and eventually some kind of regulation will come. But I hope it's when people are already more familiarized with the matter.
Right.
Like Germany changed their rates now. German changed their policies now, and apparently they're really appealing. And I'm not against taxes. I just think they need to be well done, and the way they were about to do it was not appealing at all. It was a 30% fixed rate for everything.
Right. Well, that's what happened to India, right? India is charging 30% and flat rate of the tax of the
was
crypto.
Something like that. Yeah, it was
that's
something
crazy.
Around that area. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but at least for I'd say another 3 to 5 years, we're safe.
Right. You guys are always tax free for crypto, right? For 3 years.
Crypto is not a thing here.
Right.
Crypto is barely a talked about matter.
Oh, why is that?
It's more talked about abroad than it is talked about here. People think it's a scam. People are just old fashioned. It's like
crypto is not a scam.
People really think it's like people are just old fashioned here.
Right.
And it will take a little bit. I think definitely, like, people think the technological advance of Portugal is nice, and it's also bringing crypto here. A lot of like 2 times the minimum wage paid jobs are appearing, which is good for the country. So yeah, it's more a matter of what the government wants to do. They could make money off everyone on crypto. But from an outside perspective, I think they could really gain on the long run by cementing themselves.
Yep. I think
with
definitely
the amount of companies that are coming here.
Yeah, exactly. That was what I'm going to say. They definitely are going to attract a lot of people, a lot of companies to invest or reside into Portugal, so that they can avoid the huge tax from other countries.
And I mean, it's a beautiful country. I mean, it's low wage, but I guess if all of this happens, obviously the cost of life would rise a bit. But overall, it's a really cheap place, put it simple.
Right.
So people that make money on crypto will have ease to move here, and it's like a tropical place, good weather. You can move down to the beach. If you want to live on an island, we got a couple. So
right. Sounds like I need to pay for a visit.
It's attractive. Yeah, it's definitely attractive.
I need to pay a visit soon then. All right.
I mean, in Portugal, we fight to go away. Now I'm like, there's no reason at the moment.
Especially for someone who is so deep down in the rabbit hole.
Yeah, but like the usual Portuguese saying for everyone that's like around my generation, like 20 to 30 years of age, is Portugal is the best country to retire on with money. Wow,
that sounds
not to live in while you make the money, but to have the money and be there.
All right. Well, I think all I need now is the Bitcoin to 300,000 and Ethereum to 10,000. Yep, and then I can retire. And
all of us.
I'll come to pay you a visit. Yeah.
The Nugget Village on Portugal.
Okay, let's fingers crossed. All right. So here comes the most exciting part of the show. We are going to pick up a winner from the last week's podcast. And the answer for last week's podcast is batch 3 raffle. We have 2 people who has answered the question right. The first one is Belief. I think I pronounced the name right. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. And the second one is Elvich. Again, I'm not too sure if I'm pronouncing it right. So the answer is batch 3 raffle. I have put your names into the spin, and let's play the drum roll. Elvich! Oh, fantastic! Congratulations! And we have a winner. So please contact us, send us your Discord handle, and we'll send an invite to you. And I think that will be the end of today's show. Thank you very much for joining us today, Jay. It's such a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. I mean, I hope I didn't fumble myself too hard.
Actually, it's very enjoyable to talk to you. I think it's better than CryptoVS, and I hope he doesn't hear this.
Wow. We're gonna cause a war here.
All right. Thank you very much. There's gonna be
sauce on the walls.
Sauce on the walls. All right. Thank you very much for listening to today's show. Please remember to hit the bell notification, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and leave a comment below. Be sure to leave a password which will be revealed during the show. Oh, actually, before we do the outro, what is going to be the password? Do you want a public question to set the password of the show?
A password?
Just think of anything that we talked today, so that make sure that they can go back and listen to it
something
again.
Something that was talked today.
Yeah, exactly, yes. We're making them to go back to listen to the whole show again. That's the idea.
When did I first buy Bitcoin? What was the year?
Oh, wow.
The beginning one, the first one.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, so if you know the password, please leave a comment below, and you might be able to win a Nifty Nuggets invitation. And I'll continue the outro. You can always find us on the Apple Podcast and Spotify, and make sure you leave the 5-star review. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at NuggetsNifty. All right, that is the end of the show. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jay, and we'll see you next week.
Ta-da.